I'm Tylor Ketchum, and we're Tylor and the Train Robbers, and this is the Texas music scene.
We get to introduce our Texas music scene friends and family to Tylor and the Train Robbers. Frontman Tylor Ketchum and his Boise, Idaho-based bandmates get to share their story behind the title track of their album, Non-Typical Fine, which was produced by Cody Braun of Reckless Kelly.
We did a song called Non-Typical Fine, which was the title track of our third album that we did with Cody Braun. I always say it's a true story that I made up. I headed back to Oregon to visit some friends, and a buddy of mine was telling me a story about horn hunting. He was looking for horn sheds in the woods, and he came across this dead body. And the cops had told him that there was another dead body a few years prior to that, and so we got to thinking around the campfire, you know, I wonder if they were connected in some way. And so I kind of started putting the story together and called him one day and said, hey, can I use this story? And he was like, yeah, no problem, just send me the money, man. I was like, oh, okay. So it ended up being the title track. These guys are so good about doing the music part to the story, and like each scene, you know, we kind of look at it as each verse is like a new scene. And when I brought it to Cody originally, I thought, man, this is gonna be way too long, you know, and he came back and said, maybe add a couple more verses. And I was like, oh, okay. And so there was a lot of like, you know, it's a lot of words, you know, tell the story, and then the instrumental part of that story. We kind of all came up with those in the studio and made it fit the story best as we could. That's just kind of how we go about the story songs, is trying to, you know, give it the mood that it needs to tell the right story, so.
I saw a rib cage reflecting from the sun, just like the last mule deer shed had done. It was just down the ridge across from my folks' place, so I approached with hope and a hike of a steady pace. Well, it could be a cow or a buck that didn't make it to spring, a deer casualty of a cat with a circling buzzard scene. I hiked downward to the bottom near the creek and up the other side. I was coming up close, preparing for a typical fight. Oh, I had my gun on my hip and my dog by my side. Well, them's the only two things I need for me to survive. She saw a red Corvette reflect from a small town moon. It weren't the first fast car she'd stuck her thumb out to. He just came into some money, spent a little on a brand new ride. She thought he looked a little crazy, it was flirting with her mind. You see, she felt finished with her family, it all seemed so out of hand. What's another bad decision leads to something they could understand. So when he pulled across traffic along the left-hand curb, she ran her finger across the hood and jumped in without saying a word. She had her purse hung on her hip, a brand new man by her side. Them's the only two things she'll need so she can survive. She finally found her way out, kinda like her sister did. Little brother wouldn't mind still being just a little kid. Then there was her parents that never got good at showing true emotion. She was a grown-up now and found a time to take a notion. And the headlights reflected bright off of highway signs. I took her toward a mountain pass full of ponderosa pines. She was feeling pretty free without a tether in her thread. He had been running from something, he should have took it head on instead. On the gas he laid up the grade, breaking into gears, using all three lanes and paying no attention to the mirrors. That's when she started getting nervous and then her heart sank. Went through a guardrail and rolled down thing. She had a bad cut on his lip and a brand new total ride. They were both shook and looking lucky to be alive. Did their best to reflect on what was done. First flung from a window, now wishing for eyes of the sun. It gets cold out in the country, especially close to winter time. With wrong direction he led, she went with fear of being left behind. Still on the run, he hightailed it to the trees. No care for where she fell or attention to her pleas. It's a different kind of darkness in the woods, it's a brutal attack. Why not head back toward the highway? It's a case I guess will never crack. She had no witness to her trip or alibi of any kind. She was lacking on what it needed to succeed to survive. Came across him while running cattle in the spring. They found him face down naked, he was floating in a shallow stream. The feds tied it to a mystery crash from the previous fall. Case closed with no knowledge or clue to look into it all. It's about 3 years later, I'm sitting out on this ridge, hearing traffic in the distance, hitting that highway bridge. I can sell them off by the pound. I'll keep the ones I like and haul the rest down into town. Well, I saw a rib cage reflecting from the sun, just like the last mule deer shed had done. I hiked downward to the bottom near the creek and up the other side. I was coming up close, preparing for a typical fight. But with no headstone to read or rib, sat through chills down my spine. It was just a person, a pile of bones on the mountainside. Just a person, a pile of bones on the mountainside.